Over the past several years during my normal workout routine, I have been neglecting arguably the most important muscle group: abs. That is why I decided to train abs for 30 minutes every workout day. Would this volume shock of abdominal training be too much, and or would it cause my abs to adapt and grow in ways that I've never seen before? Let's find out, but you gotta focus. Starting with the basics. 30 minutes. Let's go. So I started this experiment off on a leg day, and I decided to do my 30 minutes of abs before legs. Starting with these modified V-up crunches because I couldn't really do a full extended V-up or whatever you want to call it, where the arms are out and the legs are fully out. Something I used to easily be able to do back in my calisthenics days. Anyways, supersetting each set with 30 seconds of plank. Right off the bat, so basic but so much burn. And then I realized 30 minutes was going to be a long time to train abs. But I kept going. How many seconds is that? 3? 4? Who do you think, Lance? I'm gonna do tucked. So realizing I was barely able to hold an L hang, something I also used to easily be able to do for at least 15 seconds. So I decided to modify this and do a tucked L hang instead for 30-second attempts. A few sets in, when I couldn't hold it statically anymore, I decided to pump out some reps for the remainder of the 30 seconds. Just gotta be honest, I don't even know if it's working my abs anymore. It just feels uncomfortable. Yeah, so far this is a perfect example. If you don't use it, you lose it regarding the strength and endurance. However, regarding the abdominals visually, first of all, the number of abdominals, or the number of bumps for that matter, is typically predetermined by genetics. So like a 4-pack, 6-pack, or 8-pack, but did you know apparently around 60% of people genetically have a 6-pack? It's just a matter if they can show it or not. And whether the abs show or not is mostly due to how much subcutaneous fat is above the abdominal region. But in my opinion, if you can cause a hypertrophic response to the abdominals or muscle growth to the abdominals through training, well then shouldn't this also make them visible as well? This is what I was hoping for. Now I must disclose, maybe it's a blessing or maybe it's a curse because it's kind of caused me to neglect abs, but I already have very protrudent ab genetics even at a slightly higher body fat percentage. So sometimes it probably appears like I'm leaner than I actually am, or that my abs are stronger than they actually are. So I don't know if that's really actually a blessing or a curse for that matter. It's funny because in my opinion, I'd actually rather be stronger rather than looking like I'm stronger, kind of like, you know, like a sleeper beast, you know what I'm saying? When in reality for me it's completely the opposite. Speaking of this, I actually asked you guys in a poll, would you rather look stronger than you actually are or be stronger than you actually look? And this is what you said. Interesting. Anyways, finally I was done with 30 minutes of abs, so I headed over to the gym to do my leg workout, which consisted of some basic plyometrics and getting back into some basic lower body weight training. Now this entire time I really didn't feel any residual effect in the abdominals. In fact, I thought maybe I actually didn't train them hard enough, or maybe my abs were just recovering at a rapid rate. You know, you hear that theory on the internet, like the abs recover so fast. Well, maybe that's true, which would actually be great. Maybe I wouldn't be sore the next day and I could just keep churning away at these ab exercises. Regardless, finishing up with a 2-mile run and then later getting some post-workout nutrition in, going to sleep, and the next day, oh, it's pretty sore. Sore. It's okay, it's manageable, and it is day 2, and we're continuing this, all right? So 30 minutes. However, typically this day of the week has historically been a rest day. But today, it's going to be marked by living room abs. I got a whole little plan, a little circuit I'm gonna do. Hopefully it takes 30 minutes. Let's do it. Oh my goodness. Ooh. So the living room workout circuit went like this: 15 crunches, followed by 10 sit-ups, followed by a 30-second couch plank, followed by a 30-second reverse couch plank. Then I was going to do 25 leg lifts, but my abs were so sore, I had to do them crunched instead. And then 30 seconds of side plank, followed by 30 seconds of other side plank, then 1 minute of mountain climbers. Then I went for 1 minute of a spider plank using the couch, and then 1 minute of this couch Superman hold, I guess you can call it, to balance things out. Dang it. All right, just a little bit under 10 minutes, so I'm gonna have to do that 2 more times. A little over 30 minutes, 3 rounds. Last round got kind of sloppy. Nevertheless, way more ab volume than I'm used to. So is it gonna make a difference? How are you gonna grow? Maybe, they feel tight. They feel tight. Alright, I'm gonna shower and shave. So while we're on to shaving, a little instant ab hack. All you gotta do is shave where the shadows typically don't fall. So essentially, you're etching in a six-pack using your hair. Whoa, do you see that? That actually kind of works. Oh, they're sore. Without a day off between any of these ab workouts yet, still sore from the first 2 days. Day 3 hurt, but I powered through and smashed arms and then 30 minutes of abs. Now, a switch up I made on day 3, rather than doing all bodyweight ab work, I wanted to add in some external resistance. So after warming up the abs with bodyweight doing the modified V-up crunches, I added in a medicine ball. Now, something you can notice right away, while my form isn't perfect by any means, it is looking actually much better than it was on day 1, and that's with being sore. So maybe my abs were adapting faster than I thought. Anyways, with this external resistance theme, for my next ab exercise, I hopped over to an ab machine. By the way, sorry about this absolutely atrocious angle. I wanted to respect others' privacy. After 5 sets, back to a bodyweight exercise, doing L-sit reps on the dip bar until I fatigued, followed by tucked L-sit reps until burnout. And then I finished with several sets of these oblique crunches using a medicine ball, really focusing on that mind-ab connection. And feeling the obliques with every rep, I was noticing my abs were feeling overall more tight, more like armored, and this was actually getting me more motivated. However, after this day, I was so sore, I had to take a day off. But don't worry, I'm not counting any rest days towards these 30 days of abs. That's right, this is 30 days of ab workouts, regardless of how long it takes. Okay, whoa there, Spider-Man. It's weird, I feel like slower, but I have more control ever since training core. So I gotta get faster again, which isn't that fast. So what I'm getting at is I noticed after my rest day, going back into my workouts, with my abs feeling fresh and adapted to all of that training, I was noticing I was feeling more like sturdy overall. And I guess that makes sense because the abs are so central to everything on the entire body. With those being stronger, it would make sense that everything would feel more connected. It's like in the past when I used to train a lot more acrobatic movements, my abs were hit secondarily, not necessarily on purpose. But that really allowed me to get used to just not really having to train abs. That is until the more recent years when I started doing more weight training, where I've been neglecting my abdominals. And now occasionally doing some acrobatic movements like on the trampoline and the occasional trick sesh, well, it's like I've slowly been losing that core strength and control for the tricks and whatnot. But with just a few days of really focusing on abs for 30 minutes, well, it felt like I reignited this core strength and full body connection.
Feeling tight, abs are tight, hamstrings are tight, everything's tight.
Day 5, upper body calisthenics, followed by 30 minutes of abdominals, then a much needed rest day, followed by weight training with legs, and 30 minutes of abs. Trying out some new exercises, very challenging. My abs are like chronically semi-sore. It's just the way of life. What do you have to say about that?
Nothing to it but to do it.
Ignoring the chronic abdominal soreness developing, I continue doing the ab training after my workouts. So day 7, an arm day followed by abs. Day 8, a 5-mile run followed by 30 minutes of abs. This was a very sweaty workout, let me tell you. Day 9, legs and plyometrics, followed by some more ab training. And then it was on day 10 where I noticed something aesthetically. When doing a pump check in the mirror, flexing my core, I noticed that it looked like my entire core was way tighter when flexed than normal. It seemed way more narrower and way more of a V-taper than my typical tubular shape. Maybe there is actually some truth to this whole tighten and tone concept. What is toning anyways? It's like that one guy said, I can't define it, but I know it when I see it. Then after another rest day, the next 30 minutes of ab session, I noticed what felt like a significant increase in ab strength. First of all, my form on every abdominal exercise was significantly better than it was during the first 10 days of this experiment. And then moving over to the abdominal machine, where I was only doing just a little bit over the half stack before, this time I was able to confidently rack the machine for reps, all while actually feeling the engagement in my abdominal region, which I believe is very important.
Focus. Oh, that went pretty good.
I have no idea where that went.
It's in the sand trap.
Terrible form, I know, but I felt like my swing was stronger. You know how they always tell golf guys to train core?
Straight into the water.
Well, it makes total sense to me now. Days 10 through 15, I tried to continue to add external resistance to most of my abdominal exercises. I was really beginning to feel some legitimate strength gains in my core. My form and rep ranges on all exercises were improving day by day. And once again, regardless of my skill, anything outside of training that required core movements felt improved.
That's a tester putt now.
For the next 5 days, I continued to power through. However, 30 minutes of abdominal training along with other training was really adding up and beginning to take a toll on my body. At this point, I started to think I was doing a lot of junk volleying. That's essentially where you're going through the motion without really effectively training a muscle group. Basically just moving to say you did. A very inefficient way of training. For this and some other reasons relating to just being overexhausted, I decided to take an entire week off. If you guys haven't seen already, I made an entire video of this very interesting deload week. Some things happened that I did not expect. Check that out. Anyways, here's my physique before doing 30 minutes of abs. Here's my physique right before taking 10 days off. I'm noticing some definite core tightness control, but not as much increased definition as I thought. And then here's me after taking the 10 days off. It still looks like I've kept some of those core gains, but this time I'm refreshed and ready to tackle these final 10 days. Now, something very interesting, after returning from 10 days off, I felt like my burst energy was up, but my endurance was down. Now, I tried to use this to my advantage for a specific type of training, an interesting concept I will have in a video coming out, so stay tuned for that. But let's just say I felt very quick, but only in short increments. Now, I couldn't effectively just do explosive ab training for the full 30 minutes, so after about 10 minutes or so of short sets with very quick reps, I would return to more endurance type ab training, and by day 25 of abs for 30 minutes a day, all my endurance felt like it returned and then some.
No, it's still hard, just kidding. It's just like I'm so much better at endurance ab work than I was in the beginning of this. Just a little shaky from all that quick burst, but still, it's like
Strength up, endurance up, energy feeling good, core feeling relatively extremely strong, even able to do holds once again effectively like the L sit that I haven't been able to do in the longest time. Riding this wave of success, I powered through the final several days, and before I knew it, it was day 30. But was I going to see some desirable results, or was it only going to be performance based? Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at the before and after visuals. So just standing still, in my opinion, it actually looks like I got worse. Not in the core necessarily, but it looks like I lost size in the shoulders. Was that because I took 10 days off, or was that because I was doing so much ab training I might have been neglecting other muscle groups? Now when it comes to the abs flexed, in my opinion, it looks like I have way more core control, like I'm able to get my core a lot tighter. Almost like I'm better at sucking it in. But when it comes to ab definition, I'm not seeing much improvement. However, when it comes to ab muscle size, in my opinion, I am seeing a difference. It looks like my top ab muscles specifically are showing a little bigger, and perhaps more protruding. But why isn't it looking that drastic? Well, in my opinion, I may have done the cardinal sin. Trained abs, but actually allowed myself to get fatter. For my weight actually went up from the beginning of this to the end of this about 2 pounds. And I believe it's that little bit of extra body fat that's covering my abdominals that's not allowing me to show my results as good as I want to. However, there were a few times in between the final 10 workouts where my weight fluctuated a little bit, and in my opinion, you could clearly see some new ab hypertrophy revealed. And then by 2 weeks later, I actually finally managed to get my diet in check and get some of that excess water off, and then in my opinion, revealing some of those abdominal results. But regardless of the visuals, I feel like the performance I gained over these 30 days, which actually spanned a little over 2 months, well, I felt like that performance was definitely worth it. With my core feeling stronger, not only did I feel more confident in other movements and daily activities, but I felt like it provided me an armor at the center of my body, as well as help reinforce critical regions like my back. Now, with that being said, going forward, I think for me, doing 30 minutes of abdominal training every workout might be a little much, and from my experience with this experiment, I feel like I could probably get away with about 10 to 15 minutes at the end of maybe 2 workout sessions per week. But with that being said, I do believe in the past I was definitely neglecting core, and it was something I should not have forgotten. Let me know your thoughts on this. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all have a great day. Don't forget to subscribe and turn those notifications on. More videos coming out. Peace. I will see you all in the next video.